Hola amigos, bien o no, y saludos desde Inglaterra. Um, Hoy es el tema continuando con este tipo de idea, cómo mejorar nuestra práctica. Y muchas veces, claro, está bien para celebrar su progreso, pero también es muy importante para identificar y también para entender sus errores. Ese es el tema de hoy. So, hello again from England. So the theme today is carrying on a bit from what we've been talking about in the last few days, different ways to improve our practice. And obviously it's really good to celebrate our successes and the way we've been advancing and that kind of progress. But another thing to remember is we have to be honest and confront our difficulties, the problems. But in this sense, the problems we find with the new language really are our best friend, because by finding the problems, it's our best way of actually improving. So we can stick with just celebrating the good stuff, but the things that are really difficult and we repeatedly have problems with, either because we don't quite understand how that phrasing works, we're not quite remembering it properly, or we're misunderstanding things. Difficult or not, that's the place we have to go. And obviously we can be selective. We don't have to only confront the difficult stuff. We can, keep with the stuff we're doing very well, and we should take heart from that. But it is important to now and again look at the stuff that it's not really working very well, is it? But be honest about it with yourself. Acknowledge the fact that this is more difficult than I thought, perhaps, this particular aspect of it. And like you do when you approach problems generally, don't be overwhelmed by the idea that this whole thing I just don't get. Just remember in that particular circumstance you have trouble with it. So look at it very specific. Look at the circumstance where you want to have that conversation. Look at the part of it that's not working. Think about why that was misunderstood, or what you did that didn't work, or the mistake you made. Try and understand why that went wrong, and understand it in the context of that situation specifically, because that might better help you understand why it didn't work and what you can easily do to fix it. And then once you've got it working in that particular situation, next time you encounter that similar problem, it should be a little bit easier to understand. In my own case with Spanish, I often get confused with trying to explain what happened in the past and what's going to happen in the future. And sometimes these get very mixed up, or my sense of how I'm trying to explain what happened in the recent past, what might happen or might have happened in the past, it gets confused. So I know that's something I need to work on. But rather than try and deal with that like the whole of that topic on that particular type of the past tense, I prefer to look at this more in terms of, when am I trying to talk about this thing? What am I generally saying when I'm trying to explain that? And see how I can just get those phrases correct for that particular type of conversation that I have a lot. What did you do before? Kind of topic. So identify the problem. Don't get overwhelmed with, I need to be an expert on this whole chapter of grammar and whatever. I mean, if you've got the time, that's fine, but reasonably look at it from, where are you using this topic? What's the situation you're having this conversation in? Because really, you probably only need to correct a couple of phrases to express what you wanted to say correctly. But in the process of correcting that and coming up with the correct phrases to use, it should start to make it a bit clearer for you how that really works. So when you take those type of grammar points, if you like, into a different situation, you have a ready-made example that you really understand very well, because it's something you normally talk about. You can move into another one a bit easier. So try it like that, see how you get on with it. Déjame saber en los comentarios. I hope that one's successful, but for now, also cheerio.